Hey top percenters, Writer Joey here, trying the whole top list thing again. This time looking at my top 5 ace specs. Number 5. Gold Potion. To be honest, I had high hopes for this card. Being released in Boundaries Crossed, it gave you the chance, just once, to say, your less attack did nothing. But then Keldeo Blastoise became a dominant force, and it turned out we didn't need Gold Potion to hold Darkrai back. And to be honest, since then, Gold Potion really hasn't found a niche, with attacks either doing more or less than 90 damage, and very rarely hitting that point before your opponent could score a swift KO. I mean, come on, these days 30 damage on one of your Pokemon is too much. Especially with cards like Hypnotoxic Laser and Verbank, making 150 total damage very accessible. We've seriously entered a format where Potion can stop your opponent getting key knockouts. Added to the fact that Gold Potion is also limited to your active Pokemon, just held it back too much for it to become a highly sought after ace spec. It's amazing how it went from having so much potential to being outperformed by a base set trainer. That's just the game, I guess. Number 4. I'm going to cheat a little here. Number 4 is a tie between the two Genesect ace specs. Now, in the past, people have steered away from Pokemon specific ace specs. Mostly because, well, they're Pokemon specific. But I think that if any of this creative ace spec will see common use, it will be these two. Genesect X is set to make a huge mark on the game, and both of these ace specs add even more to Genesect's arsenal. But why can't I decide between the two of them? Well, that's easy. They're both good. It's just a lot of people prefer the G booster because it's a flat 200 damage. Nothing is surviving that. Personally though, I think that Genesect has better synergy with the G-Scope. Even though it's only 100 damage, wow, did I just say only 100? And it only hits the bench, but Genesect's already got frontal damage covered with Megalo Cannon. Having the ability to do decent damage to the bench at will open up a lot more plays for a Genesect player, allowing you to apply pressure or take prizes when and where you need to. So yeah, both are useful, both are good. Number 3. Scramble Switch. Scramble Switch. This card is good for just one reason. It's a conservation card. Setting up attackers in the mid to late game tends to rely on both the recovery and the acceleration of energy. Scramble Switch lets you take advantage of the board you already have. You're active carrying quite a lot of damage? Just want to switch for a fresh one and keep your energy on board? You've got Scramble Switch. It doesn't heal your current active, but it does replace it. And it helps you maintain your game state. Sure, your opponent could use Capture on the old active and knock it out, but you've still got the energy that was attached to it. Your opponent might have taken prizes, but they haven't set you back at all. You can still attack straight away and you can still apply the same pressure. You don't lose momentum from losing an injured Pokemon. Number 2. Computer Search. Now, some people would instantly put this as their number 1, but not me. One thing stops me placing this as my number 1 ace spec, and that's the fact that I feel that in the late game, it loses all of its potency. In your early game, this card can help you just go off, and in the mid game, 2 cards to help seal the game, or to stop you from losing, is amazing. But in the late game, you might not want to spend those 2 cards. It's in the late game you want to conserve your resources. Card advantage is your greatest weapon. You pitch your last switch or energy retrieval, or any card, and your opponent can try and monopolise on the fact that you don't have that option in hand anymore. And if they didn't already have the win, will try and buy the turns they need to win. As I said, Computer Search has a great early and mid game, but its late game is bad. You'd always prefer to just draw the card you Computer Search for, instead of spending precious resources to go and grab it. But this does bring us to, and in number 1, Dowsing Machine. This is where I can see a lot of people disagreeing with me. Some people don't think it's that good, others don't rate it at all. So why do I think it's number 1? Quite simply, it's usable throughout the entire game. Some people would turn around and say that I'm wrong, that it's a mid to late game card, as opposed to Computer Search being an early to mid game card. And to be honest, that's a fair observation. Dowsing Machine comes into its own in the mid to late game, but that's not to say that it can't put the work in your early game. One of the worst things that can happen to any player is a supporter drought. Dowsing Machine can grab a supporter you've already used, and unlike Computer Search, you're not grabbing it from your deck, which means that you stand a slightly, and I do mean slightly, greater chance of drawing a supporter from your deck to use next turn. But not only that, the major difference between Computer Search and Dowsing Machine is the fact that Dowsing Machine is effectively a wild card. It can become any key trainer. It's your 5th catcher, an extra hypnotoxic laser, it's rare candy, or switch, or juniper, or chorus. It's an extra copy of a card you need. It doesn't accelerate a card to your hand, it becomes the card you need. And that's why it's my number 1. Because it doesn't lose options and plays as the game continues. It gets more, and it can still be used from turn 2 onwards. So that's my top 5 A-Specs. What are yours? Let me know down below. And while you're at it, why not hit that subscribe button so you can be the first to catch brand new episodes as soon as they go live. Until next time, I'm Raptor Joey. You'll always be the top %. Peace out.